Hello, mathematicians. Welcome to another math lesson with me, Miss Taylor. Thanks for coming. I'm glad you're here. All right, let's see if we're ready for math. Do we have our fact practice packet? Got mine right here. Textbook. There's my textbook. Workbook. Check. Paper, pencil. You might want a whiteboard instead of paper, and that's just fine. And we are not going to need our place value chart today. So let's start with our fact practice packet. And for today, we are starting something new in our fact practice packet. We are doing some number bonds, and we are on page 9. So right down here at the bottom, page 9, and it is November 16th. No, November 16th was yesterday. It's actually November 17th, Miss Taylor. So let me get out my magic eraser here. All right, there we go. All right, it is November 17th. If you want to write your name, you can write your name, but we do already have our name on our packets. So if you don't want to, that's fine. So here we're just reviewing and practicing the two parts that go together to make the whole number. So as just a little review, our whole number is the spot where we have the two lines coming out of. Now the whole number can be at the top, on the side, on the bottom, but how you tell is it has the two lines going out from it. And then we know that the other two numbers are the parts. So we know 10 and 2 make 12. 8 and 4 make 12. 2 and 10 make 12. 5 and, so we're thinking 5 plus what gets us to 12? And we know 5 plus 5 is 10, and then it would be 2 more. All right. So again, this fact practice should just take you 1 or 2 minutes. And then when you're finished, you're going to flip it over and check your answers. That's really good for our brains to check our work right away. All right, so that's our fact practice for today. And in our textbooks, we are starting a new unit. So you all were working very hard using a lot of fortitude in our last unit where we had a lot of subtracting and renaming. And that was a lot of hard work. So you should feel proud of yourself. That was really a lot of work, a lot of mental energy. So thank you, brain. Thank you, brain. All right. So we today are going to start our new unit on length. And so in our textbooks, this is on page 59. You can look with me on page 59. And we're going to start by talking about some ways that we could measure length if we didn't have a ruler or a meter stick or a tape measure. Sometimes you don't have those things. So there's some other things that we could use to measure length. And when we talk about this idea of length, length means how long something is. So L for length, how long it is. So here we have a picture of a duck and a little baby duck, a little duckling. And it looks like they are crossing over a bridge. And it says, how long is the bridge if we use mother duck's footprints to measure it? So again, if we didn't have a ruler or tape measure or a meter stick or a yardstick or something like that, we can think about, well, we could measure it using maybe the mother duck's footprints. So we can see here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do you think we could fit one more? Probably. So this would be 11. So if we were measuring the length of the bridge, how long the bridge was, according to the mother duck's footprints, we could say, well, the bridge is 11 of the mother duck's footprints long. So 11 of her footprints long. What about, next question says, how long is the bridge if we use baby duck's footprints to measure it? A cute little baby duck. Now you will notice in the cute little baby duck's feet, we can fit 2 of those for every one of the mother ducks. So if we know one of the mother duck's footprints is the same as two of the baby ducks, we can count by two. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, and 22. Yeah, because there would be one more here, one more of the mother duck's footprints, so two more of the baby ducks. So if we wanted to measure the length of the bridge according to the baby duck's footprints, we could say it's 22 of the little footprints long. All right. Now, another thing we could do is we could use paper clips to measure things. So if you do have some paper clips at home, this would be a fun activity for you to do. If you don't, that's okay. But it's kind of fun to take some paper clips and measure some different items. So it says here, I have some big paper clips here, and then I also have some little paper clips. And usually, like I said, usually when we're in the classroom, I would give you some of these and we would use them to measure our textbook or our workbook. So if you wanted to, you could pause the video and see if you have any paper clips at home, and then you could do this activity with me. So it says, measure the length of your book with long paper clips. So what you could do is you could, let me see, where's my little bookmark? I'm going to put my bookmark in here so don't lose my page. And then you could measure how long your book is. And you could do your textbook or your workbook. Either one of those is just fine. And so how we do that is when we're measuring something, we have to line it up with the edge of whatever we're measuring. So I would line that up about like right here. Okay. And then we're going to measure how long is our textbook. So if I zoom out for us here, let's see if I can get the whole, there we go. Maybe you can make a quick prediction. How many of these long paper clips do you think we're going to need to measure the length of our textbook? What do you think? More than two, right? All right, so far we have 3, 4, 5, and can we fit another paper clip? Well, let's see. So far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if I put 6, it kind of goes off the edge of the textbook. So it wouldn't be 6. It would be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a half. It would be 5 and a half of the big paper clips long. Now, let's do the same with the small paper clips. So 5 and a half of the big paper clips. How many of the small paper clips do you think we'll need? And I can show you what they look like next to each other. So there's the big paper clip or the long one, and then the small one. Maybe you can make a prediction, and then we'll see how many of these small ones do we need to measure to see how long our textbook is. See if I can try to line those up nicely there. And if you have some of these at home, it's kind of a fun activity to do some measuring with these different items. There we go. So let's see, how many of these small paper clips do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 of the small paper clips and about 5 and a half of these big ones. So again, if you wanted to, you could, and even if you didn't have paper clips, you could find some other object around your house and try to do a little measuring. You could measure it across the top. And it's kind of fun to make a prediction first. So you could sort of make a prediction and then measure it. You could also measure some other things around your house, like the width of a door. So here it says measure the width of your classroom door. And they are using footprints. So here's another idea that you could do if you have some paper. Well, I know you have some paper at home. You could trace your foot and then see how many footprints go across the length of your door, the width of your door. The width means how wide something is. So you could do that. And then, let's see, you could also kind of look around your house and find some other objects to measure, like this feather. And they're saying the feather is about blank, large paper clips long. And so they've lined up some large paper clips underneath, and we can see that it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 large paper clips long. And then the feather is about blank, small paper clips long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So again, just kind of a way for us to think about if we don't always have rulers or things with us or tape measure, we can use other objects to measure how long things are. All right. But if we do want to measure something precisely, we are going to learn a few different ways that we can measure. And one of the things we can use to measure is something called a meter. And we have talked about this. I know in my reading class, we talked about a meter before. And some of you have, I'm sure, seen a meter stick. And I have a meter stick that I wanted to show you. And we can see here, so now I'm on page 61, it says measuring length in meters. And here is a meter stick. And a meter stick is, well, I can show you right now, I have my meter stick here. Here is a meter stick. I'll kind of scoot back so you can see a meter stick is about this long. And when I am stretching out my arms, it's about this long, but because I am a little bit taller than most of you, it's probably, if you stretched your arms out kind of like this, that would be about 1 meter. And a meter, you will notice it has a little mark on it that says cm. I can show you that on the screen here. And cm means centimeter, and a centimeter is a smaller unit of measurement. It's about the width of your pinky, about the width of a finger is centimeter. But on a meter stick, you will notice there are lots of centimeters. In fact, there are 100. So right here on this little mark here, they couldn't quite fit the number 100 there, but if they could, it would be right there. So a meter stick is the same as 100 of these little centimeters. All right, so let's see. So here we have a couple of people. We have Jamal and Ben. And we can see that Jamal is taller than 1 meter and Ben is shorter than 1 meter. So Ben would line up to right about there. So if you had a meter stick at home, you could try to measure yourself. So what you do is you put the meter stick on the floor and then you stand up and see where does it come on your body. So if I was measuring myself with a meter stick, it would come to right about my belly button. You can kind of feel my belly button there. That is about a meter. All right. Now, here are some things that you could do. Again, if you have a meter stick at home, if you don't have a meter stick, you could probably make one with paper. And you could kind of ask your parents to say, can we make a meter stick? And if you don't have a meter stick at home, something you might have is something a little bit shorter than a meter stick, and it's called a yardstick. And we're going to learn about yards in a little bit, probably next week. But you could ask your parents, do we have a meter stick or a yardstick? And you could practice by measuring things. So here it says measure your teacher's desk with a meter rule, or meter ruler. And I am at my desk here, and I can see that my desk is longer than 1 meter. But if I measure my desk this way, the width of my desk, it is a little bit shorter than 1 meter. Okay. Another fun thing that you could work on is to get a piece of string. It says cut a string 1 meter long. Use it to measure the length of the whiteboard in your classroom. Now, we're not in our classroom, but you could measure some things around in your house, in your room, and that would be kind of fun to measure some things. Okay, so For homework for today, let's see, we are going to look at pages, just page 62. And here it is. Page 62 in our workbook looks like this. So here we have some brushes, and we're going to think about which brush is the longest. Whoops, my lights went out. We're also going to think about, if we were measuring with nails, kind of like we were measuring with paper clips. We have a few questions about that. And then there is a question about measuring a bone using small paper clips and large paper clips. So that is our work for today, just one page. And again, I would encourage you at home to find maybe some paper clips or some different kinds of objects that you could use to practice some measuring to see how long things are. And then for our next lesson, we'll talk a little bit more about meters and centimeters. But for today, your homework is page 72. Have a wonderful rest of the day, scholars, and I will see you again soon. Bye.